Jaylen Brown all of a sudden is a streamer, and he
Oh boy, he lost that playoff series and ain't stopped talking since,
yeah,
man.
that was a mistake on his part. And I think that he understands that now, hopefully, that he sounded pretty foolish talking about the refs and flopping and all this other stuff, bro. You just lost.
Yeah, you just
Like,
gotta
just
eat
mute
it.
up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that you could be frustrated, but come on now. Like, it's just you make yourself look foolish. This other stuff, though, there is there's a lot of it that I agree with in regards to his side of it, but there's also another side that I agree with, and I hate agreeing with Stephen A. Smith because you know
Can you
what I think.
recap it a little? Because this wasn't on the docket, and I'm gonna be honest. He's done a lot of the work himself, but our conversations, you really turned me against Stephen A. Smith. Like I was already waning off of him. He's been
Hey, he's
saying a
Jigaboo
lot of weird
Jones.
shit.
That's his
Yeah.
name.
Oh yeah. Well, see, when you start say stuff like that, then I can't even watch the shit that he says.
Yeah, he's Sambo Smith is what I call him. Sambo Smith. So he's a guy that he plays the Karen card. And what I mean by that is that ESPN is literally like Fox News.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. It's the sports version of Fox News. So they get their topics, and you need to spread this propaganda because we need clicks and we need views and we need all the hot takes possible. And he goes ahead and he talks about Jaylen Brown talking on his stream, saying that Jaylen Brown said, "Hey, listen, this is one of my best seasons. This is one of my favorite seasons in my career." And Stephen A. Smith is like, "So Jason Tatum was hurt the whole year. You guys blew a 3-1 lead, and this is your favorite season? I don't understand how that works." He was just like, if he feels like that with all this turmoil that's going on, I think that they need to trade him. That's paraphrasing what Stephen A.
but he
Smith
does
said.
this every couple years.
Jaylen Brown goes to his stream and says, I'm tired of all of this bad journalism, all of this, we got to get these dudes out of here, blah, 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 blah. And Stephen A. Smith comes back and says, oh, well, you don't want me to start talking about how the Boston Celtics internally feel about you. You don't want me to start reporting stuff. So then Jaylen Brown was like, again, I'm paraphrasing. I'll play the video in a minute. It's like, fuck Stephen A. I don't care about Stephen A. And I'll say it to his face. So my thing is that, and then Stephen A. goes to his show and he's just like, oh, I don't understand why you had to disrespect me. I'm always, in your corner. I'm supportive.
He's been playing that card for years, though.
And that's my problem, is that you go ahead and you go spill your hot takes because that's what your bosses at ESPN are telling you to do. And when the players now have the ability to clap back at you, you go ahead and play the Karen card about, oh, what did I say? I've always been in your corner. Dude, but you go ahead and go say dumb shit too. So you can't expect him to just not respond to you. And here's the part about Stephen A. Smith that I don't understand. If you do say something, because that is your job, you're an opinionist. You are not a reporter. You're not a journalist anymore. That's not your job. You've stopped being a journalist years ago when you stopped covering the Sixers and Allen Iverson. You are no longer a journalist. You do not have that insider card anymore. So we can stop playing that bullshit. You are an opinionist. You say your opinion and you go ahead and go about your business. You're the biggest face in the space. We get that. But when a player claps back at you for things that you've said,
yeah, for years.
we don't even talk about years, right? We know his track record, right? We know his track record. But in this situation, the next thing that you should do is just mute up. Because your job is to be an opinionist. If they respond to you, you don't respond back because, again, this is like the whole LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith dynamic, what I talked about when it happened. You are who you are. You are a media personality. You are not bigger than Jaylen Brown. You are the biggest guy in the space. you are not him. Every athlete is bigger than you.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Your job is to be sideline to the athlete. You make your career talking about them.
Yep.
It should never be about you. It should never be when somebody claps at you, you now have to go in this fucking diatribe about all the things that you've done in your career. We've heard this record before, dude. But what we haven't heard from you recently in the past 6 years is you shutting up when somebody does clap back at you, instead of you saying, you know what? I'm not even gonna respond to him. I'm not gonna answer it. He felt that way. I said what I said. Boom. No, you gotta take to your show. You now have to make it a conversation piece. You and dumbass Kendrick Perkins as well. All of them are just it's Fox News of sports.
Yep.
It's not real. It's not real. It's just hot take after hot take after hot take. And I understand Jaylen Brown's frustration, because you want to have, if guys are going to have their opinion, then have it, but don't make it personal. When you start talking about, I don't understand the personal relationship between, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, why hasn't Jason Tatum been on your stream yet?
Oh man, really?
Motherfucker, how do you know that he wants to be on streams? Oh, well, Jason Tatum wasn't on your stream. He was up here at First Take. Okay, so now you're trying to needle a situation. You're trying to spin a narrative and do what Fox does in regards to propaganda. So when I go ahead and clap back at you now, you're clutching your pearls. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, I'm tired of talking about Stephen A. Smith, but we have to, because he has lost so much respect in regards to being in the space. You're the biggest face in the space. You're making all of this money. You're the highest paid. You have trailblazed a road that people can be able to follow. I don't know if anybody can ever rise to the level of a Stephen A. Smith that does not have a basketball background in regards to like playing professional. I don't see somebody going to school, going to the journalism route, and being able to have the opportunities to be able to excel the way Stephen A. Smith did. So he might have just broke the mold, which is cool. But at the same time, there has been a seismic shift in regards to how he's viewed and how he talks about things in regards to sports too. And we're not even going to talk about the political shit. Like, that's something completely different. We're just going to keep it on sports. He has lost a lot of goodwill because of his horrible takes and his lack of awareness or information. And then he gets personal on top of that.
I think they're all in the same. I think him being a huge personality with Skip, he had a certain level of comfortability to say certain things. When Skip leaves, even though he's still ascending, he has to kind of fill in that gap for Skip.
Yeah, because
remember, has to be both of them.
Undisputed was busting their ass. Not really busting their ass in regards to ratings, because they never overtook First Take. But there was another show that people were like, yo, we like this show better.
And Stephen A. Smith made his bones or his money being reactionary to Skip. Skip says something crazy. Stephen A. calls him crazy, and the two of them back and forth.
He was always Mr. Hot Take. That's
when he doesn't have Skip, now he has to play both sides,
right?
Which explains him getting into also the political arena, because now he has to have his own network he has to sustain. He can't just give you hot takes or first takes or be demonstrative talking about sports. He has to give you more. He has to give you things where he keeps on clicking back on his name, whether it's sports, whether it's politics. So I believe he's just playing a role. Just I don't even know how genuine some of this shit is, which we're gonna talk about later in the show with other people. It's not even genuine. Now you're doing it for money, and when you're doing it for money and it's not genuine, you're gonna get exposed. And I think we're in the time where he's finally starting to get exposed because you're talking too much to these athletes who are smart. They're not dumb athletes. They all have their own platforms. They all can clap back, and people have been keeping receipts on you for a long time now.
That's a fact.
So I think it's all going to be starting to come to a head. But when you said, "Oh, we don't know when this stuff started," I think that's really when it started. When he had to start playing both sides because he lost Skip. It took a while to get here, but now we're here, and he has to try to do more to sustain his network, and that's going to be keep saying crazy shit.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we're not going to be leaving this discussion anytime soon.
He talked about it. He talked about it where he has bosses that he has to answer to. You don't think the bosses at ESPN are telling him to be as hot takey as possible? Because it doesn't matter if it's positive press or negative press. It's still press.
Yeah.
Again, it's Fox News propaganda. Whatever is going on, if you're getting all of this traffic, it's good for us anyway. We're making all of this money because Stephen A. Smith is in hot water again. Hey, good. Go to your platform and say this and say that. We see the play.
Yep.
And I love the fact that the athletes are now clapping back. They're not taking the high road. They're not, ignoring it and trying to be better. No. They're going to give it back to you. And I love that.
Quick.
I love that. You know what I mean? So do I agree with everything that Jaylen Brown has said on his stream? No, of course not. Like, he's a bit of a weirdo. He's a smart guy, but that in itself is a little tone deaf to me, that you say that this is your one of your favorite years, if not your favorite year. How? You lost in a 3-1. You lost a 3-1 lead, and that's the biggest deficit or the biggest loss in Celtics history in regards to being up in a series. They've never been up 3-1 and lost the series.
Yeah.
In the history of the franchise. So for you to say that, it's a little tone deaf.
And then when your partner is hurt, so it's like, now how do you feel about him?
Right.
Really?
So now you're playing into the narrative of people saying that you guys don't have a good relationship. So for my thing about Stephen A. Smith, and this is the last thing that I'm going to say, if you do have information about how Jason Tatum feels about Jaylen Brown, don't do the mafia shit and threaten you.
Yeah, don't breadcrumb me.
How about you spill your sources?
Yeah.
Write about it. Go ahead and put an article out there and have some actual investigative journalism and some reporting.
Because you're a reporter, right? We just seen what Pablo Torres did. Like,
Pablo Torre, yeah.
bring some journalism back.
So don't talk about it. Release it.
Unless if you capping.
And if you don't release it, then shut the fuck up about it. That's my whole point. I'm sick of his threats. Like, who's scared of Stephen A. Smith? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, you're one of the biggest names in the space, but you do not stop my money.
Yep.
And you can't halt my career. So go ahead and go spill whatever sources you have. It's only going to be more clickbait for you anyway.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you do it? You think I'm going to cower because you might have sources on me? What are we doing here? What is this fake tough guy shit? I don't understand where it comes from. He continues to try to poke his chest out and be as big as the athletes. You will never.
You know where else it started? When they put him on that damn TV show as Brick. Now he thinks he's playing the role in real life.
Oh my God. Like, dude, he's always just been super performative. I'm just over it, man.
Yeah.
Sambo Smith, just go somewhere.